RoCo Radio basketball coverage will start in 2 minutes. Tonight's basketball pregame show will start in 1 minute and 30 seconds. RoCo Radio basketball coverage will start in 1 minute. Tonight's hoops coverage on RoCo Radio will start in 30 seconds. The following is a presentation of RoCo Radio Sports. Local high school basketball. RoCo Radio hits the hardwood to cover the teams that you love in Rockingham County. Reidsville High School, Rockingham County High School, McMichael High School, Moorhead High School, Bethany Community School. Your home for boys and girls basketball across Rockingham County is RoCo Radio. Find us live on your favorite social media app at RoCoRadio.com and on the Live 365 app on your mobile device by searching for RoCo Radio. Local sports coverage on RoCo Radio is made possible thanks to you, our supporters and fans, and the fans of local athletes and coaches across our area. It's also made possible thanks to the wonderful small businesses that believe in our coverage, believe in our community, and believe in local athletes. RoCo Radio basketball coverage is brought to you by Pennrose Carwash, voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County. Pennrose Carwash at 1509 South Scales in Reidsville has been serving the Reidsville and surrounding area for over 50 years. Established in 1970 by well-known entrepreneur Leo Rentz, this popular venue welcomes everyone. Pennrose Carwash, open 24/7, and find us on Facebook. Pennrose Carwash voted #1 Rockingham County Car Wash 3 years in a row. Tonight's game is brought to you by Kooler Ice. Looking for a fresh ice and water option that's ready when you are? Kooler Ice is countywide. Find fresh ice and water at Little Caesars Pizza in Mayodan at 6734 NC 135 across from Walmart. And visit our local Kooler Ice dispenser at Schules Home, 1635 Freeway Drive in Reidsville. And for all your ice and water needs, you can also find us at Pennrose Carwash in Reidsville at 1509 South Scale Street or Two Rivers Plaza in Eden at 307 West Meadow Road. Get Kooler Ice, great tasting, fresh ice, available 24/7 at all 4 locations. 16 pounds or 32 pounds, plus premium water by the gallon or 5 gallons at Kooler Ice, fresh and ready when you are. RoCo Radio basketball coverage is brought to you by Sandy Cross General Merchandise, serving the Sandy Cross community Rockingham County, and surrounding areas of our beautiful Piedmont Triad since 1988. Rockingham County's community store at 164 Boyd Road in the Sandy Cross community of Rockingham County, celebrating our 36th anniversary. Stop by Sandy Cross General Merchandise for local pure brand gasoline with the cheapest price in Rockingham County for 93 non-ethanol. Sandy Cross General Merchandise is also your Nice's sausage headquarters with great value for Rockingham County. To find out more about the Log Cabin Store, visit us on Facebook by searching Sandy Cross General Merchandise. High school basketball coverage on RoCo Radio is brought to you by Two Rivers Plaza. Rockingham County's premier location for exceptional small businesses is Two Rivers Plaza at 307 West Meadow Road in Eden. Visit the wonderful small businesses there today at Two Rivers Plaza, your premier source for small business services. RoCo Radio basketball coverage is brought to you by Circle Drive-In in Eden, serving the best hot dogs in Rockingham County for over 50 years. Located at 111 Boone Road, Circle Drive-In is your home for fast and friendly service and an all-American meal. Stop by our old-style drive-in for a delicious cheeseburger, crinkle cut fries, and top your meal off with a milkshake or banana split. Or choose from one of our many menu items, such as buffalo wings, chicken tenders, steak and cheese, the chuck wagon, and so much more at Circle Drive-In since the 1970s. For good food, stop by Circle Drive-In at 111 Boone Road near the roundabout. High school basketball on RoCo Radio is made possible thanks to Ancora Compassionate Care, formerly known as Hospice of Rockingham County. Their name changed late last year, but they're the same community-based, mission-focused hospice and palliative care provider the community has known since 1987, providing specialized care for those coping with serious illness. Ancora's mission is to be a supportive presence for life's journey when greater comfort and rapid response matter most. Make sure it's Ancora Compassionate Care. They'll always be there because they've always been here. To learn more about how Ancora can support you, visit AncoraCC.org. Just as they are a supportive presence for life's journey, Ancora Compassionate Care is proud to support our local basketball teams on their journey towards successful seasons. Local basketball coverage is also made possible thanks to our friends at Rockingham Update, the community source for local programming, government meeting coverage, community events, promotion and broadcast, sports, local nonprofit news, and so much more. Providing digital community news on all platforms since 2007, RockinghamUpdate.com aims to serve Rockingham County with the dependable information and coverage it deserves. For local programming, visit RockinghamUpdate.tv, your #1 IPTV station in Rockingham County. We now head courtside with Joe Dexter and David Woods on the call and RoCo Radio basketball coverage on RoCoRadio.com.
For the 5th time in 6 seasons, the Rams are back in the Sweet 16. That's savory. It's nice. It tastes pretty good. But it's nothing as sweet as a championship. Looking to defend their title are the Reidsville Rams. Standing in the way is number 8 Monroe in the 2A West at 16-3 on the season. Joe Dexter, he's back. David Woods, the mayor, is in town here in the City of Champions for this Sweet 16 matchup. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, Duval. Hey, let's rock and roll, baby. I'm ready to go. How's my man doing? You ready?
Hey, we're ready for great basketball. The 27-0 Rams, 82-1 over the last 3 seasons, taking on this Monroe squad. You break it down on tape. It's hard to say anybody can match up with Reidsville, but when you look at what Monroe brings to the table, we remember the state championship on the football field for this squad. They're a bunch of good athletes led by a great head coach in Johnny Sowell. They're going to be hungry tonight, as are the Rams, though.
Oh, yes. Monroe would definitely be hungry. I mean, this is a chance to knock off one of the top, if not the top team in the state of North Carolina. It's going to be a tough matchup. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to channel my inner Coach Ross.
Okay.
I wasn't here the past couple of weeks, and I got a chance to look over a couple of things and go over some stuff. Defensively tonight for Reidsville, I get it. They gave up 62 points, but you know what, Coach Ross, he would be complaining like crazy. I don't want to see them giving up 62 points tonight. I want to see them going all out tonight, giving everything they got. And I want to see the matchup where they played Brevard and only gave up 19. This team is so athletic, man. I am just fortunate to be here to watch this team. I love watching them. But it's going to be a fun night tonight. What do you think?
It's the Pennrose Carwash Kooler Ice pregame show, and I agree 1,000%. Pregame show brought to you by Pennrose Carwash, voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County. Pennrose Carwash at 1509 South Scales has been serving the Reidsville and surrounding area for over 50 years, celebrating our 55th anniversary. Established in 1970 by well-known entrepreneur Leo Rentz, this popular venue welcomes everyone. Pennrose Carwash, open 24/7, and find us on Facebook. Pennrose Carwash, voted #1 Rockingham County Car Wash 3 years in a row. Your pregame show on RoCo Radio is also brought to you by our friends at Kooler Ice. Looking for a fresh ice and water option that's ready when you are? Kooler Ice is countywide. Find fresh ice and water at Little Caesars Pizza in Mayodan, 6734 NC 135 across from Walmart, and visit our local Kooler Ice dispenser at Schul's Home, 1635 Freeway Drive, right here in the Ville. And for all your ice and water needs, you can also find us at Pennrose Car Wash in Reidsville at 1509 South Scale Street, or Two Rivers Plaza in Eden, located at 307 West Meadow Road. Get Kooler Ice, great tasting, fresh ice, available 24/7 at all 4 locations, 16 pounds or 32 pounds, plus premium water by the gallon or 5 gallons at Kooler Ice, fresh and ready when you are. Glad to have you along for this Sweet 16 matchup. Number 8 Monroe, number 1 Reidsville. Joe Dexter, David Woods here on your Pennrose Carwash Kooler Ice pregame show. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. And this is the numbers that matter to me, okay? This is a time, for me, the story is efficiency. At this point in the playoffs and quality of competition. For the Monroe Redhawks, they played just 4 games with teams that finished over 500 at the end of the season. Just 4 times. For your Reidsville Rams, 13 games against teams that finished over 500. 2 against Rockingham, 2 against Walkertown. Farmville Central, the big win in the John Wall Invitational, winning 85-78. That team 22-4 on this season, have not lost since the John Wall Invitational. The number 1 seed on the east side, a very good chance if the Rams advance to the state championship, who they'll see. Oh, that's not it, David. That's not it. How about Caldwell Academy? The NCHSAA 2A state champs at 26-9. St. Anne's Benfield 21-8, the 5 seed in D1 in the VISSA playoffs. Corvian Community still alive in the 1A playoffs, the 5th seed at 21-7. Orange 19-9. That was a 3A second round loss for them to end their season. Gretna out of Virginia, 19-6 overall loss in the regional finals. Southeast Alamance 22-7 overall, losing in the second round of the playoffs. And last week, North Stanley on Friday, beating them. They beat Walkertown earlier in the year. They're 22-7. 246 and 200 overall record, the opponents for Reidsville this season. Okay, so you take out North Forsyth and McMichael. I know we don't want to create some numbers.
No. Go ahead.
But they have 4 and 5 wins overall. They're the bottom of this conference, and you can't determine if you play them or not. You take them out. The opponents that Reidsville have played, 237 and 165 this season.
Wow, that is crazy.
So a big difference when it comes to competition. As far as efficiency in the playoffs, David, it's been unbelievable for these Rams in 2 games. They've shot 54% from the floor. The only problem they've had is shooting the 3, and we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later. Really struggle against North Stanley. 67% two-point field goals, though. 22 assists per game, 19 steals per game, 26 steals in the first round, 7 blocks per game. When you look at those numbers, you look at the assists, you look at the 19 steals, and you look at just 6 turnovers per game compared to the 22 assists and 19 steals. It's unbelievable what they've been able to do with the basketball.
And all of that, they do it with transition basketball. Normally when you're a transition team, you're gonna turn the ball over quite a bit. But this team right here is so crisp, man. They're so crisp when it comes to the fast break. The half-court game has got 10 times better, man. At first, that's one thing I really thought they needed to work on. But now the half-court game is starting to look really good. And like you said, efficiency. You're going to start playing some of these teams, man. Yeah, there could be a time when they meet up against Shelby. There could be a time, with North Surrey, Lincoln Carter, the Bandies. That's 4 other teams that they could possibly meet up with. Salisbury has been really good. So the deeper you get into this thing, the more you're going to see, really, really fundamentally sound teams. So efficiency is a good word to put it, a good way to put it. But, yeah, defensively tonight, I want to see them go as hard as they've ever been. I want to see them put up, not give up but 19 points like I did against Brevard because, I wasn't here for the North Stanley game, but I know Coach Ross, and we've talked to him very personally, and I know he was going off about the 62 points, even though they scored 94, but, he's a fiery coach.
Hey, you got your Merriam-Webster dictionary over there?
I do not.
I told you to bring one. We need to open it up.
All right. Well,
open it up. Look up efficiency. There's a picture of Deontay Neal. Oh, my goodness. The point guard in the playoffs, 17 of 24 from the floor, 71% shooting percentage here in the first 2 games of the playoffs, 5 of 8 for 3, perfect from the line, averaging 10 assists. He had 10 assists in both playoff games, averaging 8 steals. And, man, it's been 15 total steals for him, just 1 turnover in 2 games.
He's the man that makes this offense, makes this whole team flow really good, man. Just his ball handling skills. I mean, when he goes to the free throw line, efficiency. When he shoots the 3, efficiency. When he shoots the 2, efficiency. I mean, when it steals, efficiency. I mean, it's just all across the board. I mean, he takes care of business, and he's just an awesome player, man. I got to talk to his dad pregame a little bit. He knows. I told him, I said, yeah, we like to talk a little junk on here and have a little fun, but all in all, man, we really appreciate and we're really grateful to be able to be here and watch greatness. Let's call it what it is.
You know what I appreciate? Mr. Pick, to your pocket. 204 steals on the season. That's 72 more than anybody in the state of North Carolina.
Yep.
72 more steals. But the most impressive part of that, when you put in the efficiency with the basketball, when you look at that efficiency and you break it down, I like numbers. I like analytics. He has a 5.37 steal to turnover ratio. He's grabbing 5 steals before he turns over the basketball.
That is awesome, man. I'm going to tell you what. You know what I like? You want me to tell you what I like?
What's that?
I like the players that do the dirty work. You know what I'm talking about?
I know.
Mama. There goes that man, Ron Jones. I love him, man. He's one of those players that, you've got to love. He doesn't score a lot, but when it comes to rebounding, when it comes to doing, taking the charge, I mean, just the dirty stuff, getting on the floor. I mean, they all do. But he takes it to a whole nother level, man, of taking care of business, when the dirty work needs to be done. He cleans it up. I love it, man. I love it.
Had a season-high 13 points against North Stanley in these playoffs. He's averaging 11 points per game. He shot 9 from 11 from the field. That's 82%, averaging 7 defensive rebounds per game and 2 offensive rebounds per game. 17 games this season where he's had 10-plus rebounds. That's what you need from Cameron Jones. I'm not leaving Deontay Neal yet.
Oh, no.
As Adam says in the comments, best point guard in the state.
By far.
When we talk about Deontay Neal, we always say there's nothing he can improve on. We almost, what can he improve on? We ask the question, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I did some digging today. I really have been wondering, what Deontay do to take his game up to the next level this season, okay?
Okay.
So we know he can control the basketball. He
Yep.
can steal. The steal numbers are up. The assist numbers are up.
Yep.
At 9.3 assists per game, that's second in North Carolina, number one in the NCHSAA. He's scoring in buckets, 23 points per game. The one thing that lacked coming into this season was the three-point shot. He shot 34%, which is decent, right?
Yeah, that's still good.
34% from the floor, 53 of 154 last year. He's improved that this year to 69% from three.
That is
Not only has he become more selective, but he's making them at a high clip at 67 of 97. That's the improvement that continues to make him that better player, even though you wonder where's the room to get better. He's going to find a way.
And with Deontay, man, he's not cocky. He's a very quiet point guard. We can say this again, the best in the state of North Carolina. But, I mean, he will always – Deontay's the kind of guy that even though he is very efficient – we're going to bring up that word again – he is always trying to find things to work on. He will always be that guy, kind of like Coach Ross is, to always say, hey, what can I do better for the team? And it's not about him. It's about what can he do better for the team, and he has always been like that since we've been a part of Reidsville's program. Like I said, man, I am just absolutely grateful to be here, to be able to watch this great basketball team. It is, man.
The next milestone to watch for Deontay, 477 steals, just 23 away from 500 in his career. It's the Pennrose Carwash Kooler Ice pregame show. Sweet 16 basketball on RoCo Radio. Number 8 Monroe at 16-3. Number 1 Reidsville at 27-0. Winners of 56 straight and a 37 straight game win streak here at home. Let's go to the comments and welcome in everybody. Big Will in the house on YouTube. Melita's listening in on Facebook. Our friends at Pennrose Carwash are in the house. Absolutely. Coach Eddie listening in on YouTube.
Up,
What's
Coach?
going on, Coach? Hope you're enjoying the game and glad to have you on Friday. Thanks for filling in and doing a great job. Annette Galloway's in the house. Let's go, Rams. We want to hear where you're listening in from. Let us know in the comments here on RoCo Radio on YouTube and on Facebook. And your thoughts on the game, any predictions, let us know in the comments. Big Will says he's watched Deontay since he was 2 basketballs high.
So, see, I got to pass the keys over to one of the best coaches in Rockingham County, Coach Ancora. I got to pass over my Ferrari. I got to let him drive it around freeway, drive a little bit, pull up, coach, call it game.
Coach goes the speed limit. I'm like, he ain't getting in trouble like you. Coach has got it under control.
Man, I tell you what, Coach Ancora, man, we appreciate you, buddy. We really do.
Before we get to the Monroe Redhawks, and we'll preview them here in just a bit, the other story this playoffs for me has been the emergence of the big man. Kendre Harrison,
yes.
Agent Zero. We know what we can do, folks. We know what he can do. We know the power. We know he's one of the best athletes in the country. We all know that. But he's 100% healthy now. In the playoffs, averaging 19 points per game, had 25 on Friday against North Stanley. We talked about efficiency earlier. 17 of 23 on 2-point field goals, a 74% 2-point field goal percentage, averaging 13 rebounds here in the playoffs. It's just been unbelievable how he stepped his game up. 14 games this year with 6 offensive rebounds or more. He had 9 versus North Stanley, and those were key in controlling the game. Against North Stanley, Reidsville shot really roughly from the 3-point range. I believe it was 6 of 26 from 3, 23%. They were able to control the game, though, in the second quarter, go on a 12-0 run because of the interior play, what Kendre Harrison brings to the table inside alongside Cam Jones.
Oh, man, I'm going to tell you what, he's one of the best big men in the state as well. Alongside Cam Jones, I mean, you might as well say they're going to rack up about 55 to 60 rebounds a game. And they can do it. There's no issues, whatsoever. The 1-2 punch of Deontay Neal feeding it into Kendre, I mean, it's absolutely nasty. It is ridiculous. I mean, we get to see this man another year.
Yeah, I know, it's
not
great.
like he's going.
Both of those guys, the point guard and the center, it's just unbelievable to think they got one more year.
And, you know, we're
eligibility.
thinking with how they play, you know, oh, man, they're seniors. They're getting ready to go on to college. Absolutely not. They still got another year of high school. They're going to break records, man. It is crazy.
So in order to take it up the next notch, there's two things that I would like to see. We talked about the three-point shooting just a bit. Rough in that last game at 6 for 26. A big part of that is Christian Scales getting back working 0 for 6 from the perimeter in that last matchup. But really the unsung guy, it's hard to say he's unsung. But what he's meant to this team, I think he's unsung a little bit in what Janiah Sharp, J9, has brought to the table.
Yeah.
Last week he had to make some adjustments. He shot 50% from the floor here in the playoffs. Eclipsed 2,000 points in his career last Friday. Shot 5 of 12 from 3. But here's the difference. Here's the difference in J9. And we've talked about it a little bit. Sometimes he gets down the floor, he gets a little bit too excited, hoists a shot too early. This man has not turned over the basketball in the playoffs yet. Not once.
Hey, when it's playoff time, I'm going to tell you, if you've not seen Reidsville in person, they take it to a whole nother level. It's like, you know, they'll be, you know, they'll hit about 5 or 6, you know, 1 through 10, they'll hit about 5 or 6 or so, and they'll cruise on through the regular season. But when they hit playoff time, this team is absolutely amazing to watch. I mean, when it comes to football and basketball both, I mean, we know what we're going to get, especially with J9, man. He's just absolutely athletic, and congratulations on his next step into college. I'm telling you, man, I cannot wait. I'm absolutely pumped for tonight.
Janiah Sharp, 20-plus points in 18 of the 27 contests that Reidsville has played. So he's that constant cog scoring-wise that sets the tone, and also last week had to step up and dish the basketball, move inside when they had to adjust their offense. Only put up 10 assists. His first double-double of the season against North Stanley. Just about 7 minutes away from tip-off here on your Pennrose Carwash Kooler Ice pregame show. It's the 27-0 Reidsville Rams facing the 16-3 Monroe Redhawks. We saved just a little bit of time to talk about Monroe.
Yes, we did.
They are led by head coach Johnny Sowell. He's been the coach here on the basketball floor since 1993, a record of 580 and 265. So 580 wins. That's just on the basketball court, by the way. A 69% winning percentage. Also the head coach of the football program who won the state championship this year. Winner 2010, 1A state champs on the basketball floor as well. Oh, by the way, he coaches track too and has won a state championship in track.
Wow. I'm telling you, his hands are probably full of rings, ain't they? I got 10 of them. Let's go.
Monroe didn't get it to start the season, do that state championship until January with just 19 games in tow, but a win 59-50 over Hendersonville, who was 20-7 in the second round, a big win at home. They started down 6-1, but at 28-23 at the half and really controlled the game from there. It starts with their point guard, Kagan Chambers. This is a guy that runs a 4-3 40. He's committed to play at Temple football-wise. Their quarterback, their signal caller on the state championship team. You look at the numbers for this team, you're not going to see a guy that scores 25 or 30, a guy that has 9 or 10 assists per game. You see a team ball game, a team ball concept. This is a team that only makes 4 threes per game. They're only going to they've only shot 237 threes all season and only made 78.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm looking at the stats right here. I mean, you know, they seem like they slow it down a little bit. I mean, they're averaging only 57.5 points a game, along with 28 rebounds per game as well. They do turn the ball over, you know, a little bit over almost 11 times per ball game. But tonight, I'm going to tell you, this full court defense, the traps, I mean, the double teams, what you're going to see out of Reidsville is a whole nother level. They're really going to have to, and that speed might help them along the way, that 4-3 speed, you know, but then he's got to go up against the best point guard in the state, so might be a tough job tonight.
Jamari Clark at shooting guard. Bryson Simpkins is a player to watch at small forward. Xavion Ivey and Jabari Benson at 6'3", the tallest player on the squad. Several guys at 6'3", so I'm sure they'll mix and match. What I did notice on tape, though, is they swarm on D.
Mm-hmm.
These guards are going to be tough on defense, not necessarily on-ball pressure the guards fully, but they also play really smart fundamental basketball inside the low post, helping out against the big man and trying to make some pressure. Now you're going against the best big man in the state and one of the best in the country, so it might be a bigger task tonight, but they have shown on tape that those guards are going to play a big part defensively.
Yeah, I could see that too. I mean, if you're Monroe, what you want to try to do, you want to try to get Kendre in foul trouble. I mean, from what I'm seeing right now with the size, I mean, they match up pretty well outside of Kendre. And then, but yeah, I think if you got to get him in foul trouble to really kind of, keep this game evened out. Because I think their guard play can be pretty good, but then again, like I said, you got to face up against Deontay Neal. You think that's an easy task? Absolutely not.
If it comes down to a close game, which I'm not saying it's going to.
Yeah.
But if it does, this is a key factor to keep in mind as well as we get you ready for tip-off here in just about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Free throw shots. Just a 51% free throw shooting team. Their best player with the ball, Kagan Chambers, shoots just 32% from the free throw line.
Wow.
Compared to Deontay Neal, who shoots 89% from the line. The Reidsville team shooting, I believe, around 58%, but several guys in the high 60s, mid 70s from the charity stripe. So that could be a key factor, whether it's at half to separate the game, whether it's in moments where the Rams need to get some space and they get to the line, or force Monroe on the line, use some guys to draw some fouls. It might be the difference late in the game if needed. Just something I noticed as well with the numbers.
I'm going to tell you what, to the 29 listening in, you got to appreciate my man Joe Dexter. This dude can find anything. He can find your checking account number. He can find your route number. He can find your social security number. Anything you need him to find, shoot him a message. He'll take care of it for you. But at a low fee of $9.99, he's got to get paid for it too.
$9.99 a month.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you, man. But I'm telling you, he's been a great dude. He's like my brother. I mean, he is just so knowledgeable of the game of football, basketball, baseball, you name it. He's a part of it, and we appreciate you, man. We appreciate everybody that listens in, and we're giving y'all a great service. I hope we're doing a great job. We try to. We talk a little junk here and there, but we have a good time.
That's what we got to do.
That's what we do.
So the winner of this one will face the winner of Salisbury and Lincolnton, probably the matchup of the night in the playoffs, especially in the 2A. Both teams finished in the top 5 in RPI at the end of the season. Salisbury, the number 4 seed at 25-3, 24-5. Lincolnton, Salisbury's won 24 straight. Their last loss came against number 1 Bishop McGinnis in 1A back in December. Other games to watch on the west side. North Surrey, the number 3 seed, 24-4, 13-1 at home, taking on Lincoln Charter, who's 19-9. The Eagles are 8-5 on the road. 11 straight won for Shelby. Oh, don't say that word around here. 20-7, 13-1 at home. They take on number 15 Bandies, who's 20-7. The Trojans are 9-3 on the road. As we get you ready for tip-off here in just a minute, we'll take you down to the floor. Your Star-Spangled Banner tonight as well. And your starting lineups for both the Monroe Redhawks as well as your Reidsville Rams. It's the Sweet 16. Number 8, Monroe, 16-3. Number 1, Reidsville, 27-0 at Reidsville High School in the City of Champions. We bring you now down courtside for tonight's starting lineups as well as our Star-Spangled Banner.
Of North Carolina 2A State Champions, State Champions. remove your hats for the sake of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming through the stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets left the bursting in air came through the night. Their flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now we bring you down to the floor for the Monroe Redhawks starting lineups.
And now, starting out for Monroe Redhawks. Number 1, Dave Sanders. Number 3, Devon Clark. Number 4, Bryson Simmons. Number 10, Davion Ivey. And number 23, Jabari Benson.
Starting lineups for tonight: Keegan Chambers starts at guard for Monroe. Jamari Clark as well. Bryson Simpkins is at forward. Xavion Ivey at forward, and Jabari Benson is at center. For your Reidsville Rams, Deontay Neal, Mr. Flash, is at the point. Janiah Sharp is at shooting guard. Christian Scales on the wing, the senior. Cameron Jones, the senior at power forward. And Ken Dre Harrison is at center. The Monroe Redhawks are coached by Johnny Sowell, 580 and 265 in 30-plus seasons with the Redhawks. Your Rams are coached by head coach Jason Ross in his 6th season, 131 and 17 overall. The Rams look to defend their 56-game win streak and 37 straight wins here at home, here in the Sweet 16. Number 8 Monroe in red with black numbering and lettering and white trim. The Rams in their white homes with blue numbering and blue trim.
Partner, you ready to clock in?
Let's do it.
Let's go to work.
Harrison on the right side, Ivy on the left side. Harrison tips it up to Neal here in the corner near side. Drives the baseline. Bounce pass on the backhand to the wing for J9. From the elbow inside to Harrison. Power dribble on the turn. Can't get it to fall. Rebound inside for Benson. Monroe basketball. Nothing score just underway. Near side for Chambers. On the wing covered by Neal. 1 versus 1. Top of the key drive at the free throw. Pass it out on the wing far side for Simpkins. Simpkins covered by Jones. Works way back to the midcourt line. Now works his way to the wing. Passes it back, top of the key for Chambers. Chambers passes it off on the wing. Now on the corner on the baseline screen, it's Simpkins here near side, covered by Jones. Hand it off to Chambers. Jones picks up the defense on the near side corner, near the baseline. Bounce pass, back out. Looking to drive, this Ivy, covered by Scales, covered at the basket, but gets the hoop.
That was a good drive and good layup there by number 1, Chambers.
Neal passes the timeline right to left. 7 minutes to play here in the first, just underway. Glad to have you along on the RoCo Radio. 2-0 lead for Monroe. Near side wing for Neal. He hoists a deep 3, in and out. Rebound goes to Monroe off the hands of Ivy into the hands of Chambers, the point guard. Up the near sideline. Bounce it here on the near side. In the hands of Gaddy. Gaddy now near side. Work it in the corner. Chambers covered by Neal. Looking inside to Ivy instead to the free throw line. It's the hands of Benson covered by Harrison. Back out. Looking to drive is Clark. Clark will hold it now. Pass it here near side wing to Simpkins. They're going to run their offense slowly. They're not in any hurry. They're looking for that look. They're very patient with the basketball on offense. They've had it here for nearly a minute. Clark looks to drive, back out. In the hands of Ivy. Now back at the top of the key for Simpkins. Looks off the screen. Here's the 3 for Chambers. Hits off the backside of the backboard. Rebound on the left side. Goes to the hands of Monroe's Jamari Clark. He draws the foul. You'll head to the line. That's what they're looking for. They want to eat time and just find a possession where either they get to the free throw line or get a bucket.
That's what I was going to say, partner. So what I've seen so far, they're really going to slow the game down. They're going to pass it around, get a good open shot. And it looks like they're going all in on trying to stop Kendra Harrison. I've seen double team, and I've also seen triple team at the same time. 2 guys trying to box him out on the last possession.
Clark gets the first. 3-0 lead for Monroe. 5:53 to play here in the first. And he gets the second. Clark, a 60% free throw shooter. So Neal takes the basketball up the floor right to left. Pass the timeline. Right hand dribble. Bounce pass is almost stolen off of the pass to Sharp by Clark. But Sharp readjusts. Now here on the near side perimeter. One-handed pass, Neal. Now in the corner. J9 3. Far side off the tongue. Goes to the hands of the point guard Chambers off Cam Jones. Rebound attempt. So a 4-0 lead. Possession of the basketball for Monroe. Red Hawk drive by Clark into the paint. Kick it back out.
Out of bounds.
We're going to have an out of bounds. And Rams basketball. Could be a key turnover to open this game back up for the Rams offense.
And J9 right there on the last possession had a wide open 3. Just missed it.
Deontay Neal crosses midcourt. Pass it on the wing. J9 on the far side. Driving on the baseline. Back to the basket for Harrison. Turns with one hand. Doesn't get it. Gets the rebound off his hand, though. It'll go out of bounds. Tipped out of bounds off the hands of Ivy. Reidsville ball. They'll inbound here on the left side. Down 4. 5:09 to play here in the first.
Watch Kendra right here. Let's see if they don't lob it up.
Neal with the inbound. Hits it here on the near side wing to Scales. Scales back in the corner near side. Neal pump fakes. Back to the wing. Now top of the key three. Scales three off the rim. High attempt for the rebound for J9. It goes over his head though and into the hands of Simpkins. And Simpkins gets it to his point guard here, Chambers.
Here goes Monroe slowing it down.
Top of the key now for Ivy. Ivy covered by Scales into the paint. Underhand layup goes right in the hands of Harrison off the glass. Neal up the floor, into the lane. The reverse, can't get the scoop layup. Pick it up on the rebound for Ivy. Ivy with one hand, passes to his point guard, Chambers. Kagan Chambers trying to get past midcourt and does so, covered by Neal. Here near side, but it's poked away by Neal. Picked in the hands of J9, will have a foul by Clark. J9 went for the slam, but the foul before the end of the play. At about midcourt, it'll be a push foul. So reset the Rams offense. It still gets the house warmed up here in Reidsville. J9 to inbound on the far side, just off midcourt. Goes right inside the low block to Kendra. Now back out a long three from the Rams logo. Off the side rim, rebound Deontay Neal. The
and
one! Deontay Neal, the Magic Man.
That's the way to get it going. Here we go.
That was a long three from the Rams logo on the far side wing. And Neal came over on the left side. There was nobody there on the low block and just snuck in, got the rebound and the lay-in. And now he heads to the line.
All right, buddy. We got it up mid your knees. There it is.
Free throw's good for Neal. He shoots 89%. 4-3 now, Monroe. 4:15 to play here in the first. We're going to have a possession arrow forced by J9 in the corner on the inbound.
I was getting ready to mention, partner, I haven't seen the traps yet, but here they come.
Possession arrow in favor of Monroe. They'll inbound on the right side of the basket. On Reidsville side of the floor. Full court pressure from the Rams. Sharp and Jones cover Clark, and he sails his pass with two hands into the fifth row on the opposite side of the floor.
Somebody's got to remind him this is basketball, not football. We're not throwing Hail Marys here.
Clark committed to play football at Wingate. That would have been a nice pass.
It was a nice one. I give him that.
Right to left. Neal with the basketball to J9 on the wing, far side, covered by two. Looks inside to Jones. It's tipped away. Stolen by Monroe in the hands of Chambers. Looks top of the key. Simpkins, on the wing. Now near side for Clark. They're slow down that offense again. Top of the key between the legs for Clark. Goes far side wing for Simpkins. Simpkins with one dribble back to the top of the key for the point guard Chambers, covered by Neal. Crossover move, works to the left side, just off the elbow. Spins out of coverage by Neal. Now back to Clark at midcourt. Slow it down for Monroe. Far side in the corner for Chambers. Here comes Harrison with the pressure. Neal there as well. Gets it off to Ivy. Ball's loose in the paint. Picked up by Harrison. One-handed dribble. Gets it to his point guard. Fakes the three on the wing. Pass it in the corner. J9. In and out. Rebound in the hands of Ivy in the paint. Another big rebound for Ivy of Monroe. 4-3 lead for the Redhawks with the basketball. 3:09 to play here in the first. Top of the key. Clark pump fakes, covered by Neal. Gets in the lane. Scales is there with a hand up. Batted away by Harrison. Neal up to J9 for the two-handed flush. It's a Rama Jamma here at Reidsville High School.
Slam, bam, thank you, ma'am. J9.
5-4. 2:45 to play here in the first. Rams lead for the first time.
Here we go, Reidsville picking up the press.
Near side, pressure by Clark. The ball is going to roll out of bounds right alongside the bench of Reidsville on the backhand bounce attempt. Another turnover, a key one. And Rams ball up one, 2:40 to play here in the first. Right to left for the Rams. Neal dribbles it with the right to the left, now back to the right. Circles his offense. Off the curl, J9 now on the elbow, gets it in to Harrison, does Jones. We'll have a foul before that, though.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to really stop Kendra on the inside. They're going to let the rest of it go as is. But what do you do? There's nothing you can do. There's so many pieces. Oh,
stolen on the far side by Clark. Bounce pass. Loose and a foul inside. Simpkins in the paint.
And that'll be on Scales. That's his first.
5-4 lead for the Rams. 2:18 to play here in the first. Glad to have you along here on RoCo Radio, RoCoRadio.com. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Pennrose Carwash, Kooler Ice, and Ancora Compassionate Care. So Simpkins, who averages 14 at the line for Monroe. First one is good.
You got J9 talking a little trash to him. You ain't going to make this, dog. I'm going to tell you what, you ain't going to make this.
Evened up now, 5-5.
He made both.
6-5 lead for Monroe. Neal, left-hand dribble, past the timeline, near side. Covered by Chambers. Nice screen by Cam Jones. Far side elbow, one-handed pass here in the corner. Baseline drive for Scales off the rim. Rebound inside again for Ivy. In the hands of Jamari Clark. Left to right. He handles it, covered by Neal. Lowers the shoulder. Fans run a foul call, far side. Instead, it goes to Simpkins. Off the screen, in the corner, it's Chambers for three. In and out, rebound again inside for Ivy. Back out for three, and nothing but net for Jamari Clark. 9-5, Monroe. 1:35 to play here in the first. Walking up the floor is Neal. Near side, works his way middle of the court. Far side wing pass, J9. Back to the basket, just off the perimeter for Kendre on the far side. Lowers that shoulder, powers off the low block.
And one!
Gets two, and heads to the line. The two-hander off the glass for the Big O, Kendre Harrison, who had 25 against North Stanley. Looks like Reidsville's going to give them a taste of their own medicine.
They're going to. I mean, they're double teaming, but he's got at least 1.5 feet over everybody that's matching up with him.
Harrison heads to the line, spins the basketball, takes a deep breath. Bounces it one more time. Here's the free throw. It's off the heel. Rebound goes to Cam Jones off Monroe. Neal has it near side wing, off the miss on the free throw, to the pocket with the underhand layup for Deontay Neal, near side. Tied up at 9 apiece. 1:09 to play here in the first. Full court pressure from the Rams. Midcourt, it's Ivy, almost loses it, almost stripped away by J9, but handle it back, Monroe. Simpkins tries to get past midcourt. His pass is stolen away by Scales. Hits off his hip into the hands of Cam Jones. The layup doesn't fall. Rebound goes inside to Simpkins. Up the floor, the near side for Monroe, for Sheeran, who's just checked into the ball game for the Redhawks. Back to the top of the key for Jamari Clark. Working here near side wing for Chambers. Chambers covered by Neal. Bounce pass inside is stolen away by Jones. Off his hand, it goes back to Clark at the perimeter. Now on the near side wing, it's Chambers back to the top of the key, and Clark hits the net, but nothing else.
Hold on.
And it goes out of bounds.
I got you, partner. Air ball, air ball, air ball.
Jones will inbound on the baseline near side for the Rams. 9-9 ball game, 23 seconds to play here in the first. Neal will sit here on the near side wing, just in front of the scores table. Hesitation move, crossover to the left, and to the bucket! He's got 7.
As the words of my man of Stuart Scott, he's as cool as the other side of the pillow.
No look pass inside. Chambers to Clark off the glass to match it.
Here we
with
go,
1
partner.
second left. A heave from Neal hits off the rim. There will be no foul call on the shot despite the pressure. So after one, we're knotted up 11-11.
Woo!
Tonight's game brought to you by Pennrose Carwash, voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County. Pennrose Carwash at 1509 South Scales has been serving the Reidsville and surrounding area for over 50 years. Established in 1970 by well-known entrepreneur Leo Rentz, this popular venue welcomes everyone. Pennrose Carwash open 24/7, and find us on Facebook, celebrating our 55th anniversary. Pennrose Carwash voted #1 Rockingham County Car Wash 3 years in a row.
Hey, partner. After watching Coach Ross down there, it's about to be on. You ready? You're about to see Big Ville comeback in the second quarter right here. I hope you're ready for this. You always ready, but I'm just saying.
Well, on Friday against North Stanley, it was a 23-22 lead after one for Reidsville.
Yeah.
They came out with a 12-0 run in the second quarter to really put the game away. So we'll see what happens here.
Oh, yeah.
11-11 after one. 7 points for Neal, 2 for Sharp, and 2 for Harrison. 7 for Jamari Clark of Monroe, Bryson Simpkins with 2, and Savion Ivy with 2. Neal with the basketball right to left. Top of the key. Left side, now on the far side for J9. Pump fakes, drives to the bucket with 2 hands. It's J9.
And here we go.
Up the floor the opposite way. Monroe matching. Draws the foul.
Offensive
No,
foul.
It's an offensive foul.
Yes.
Good call. A shot attempt by Clark. He pushed in to the defender. And Reidsville basketball.
Coach Ross has been getting in the ear of the officials. They've been pushing off a whole lot. Now they're starting to call it.
13-11 Reidsville. 7:35 to play here in the second. Neal, far side with 2 hands to Sharp. Now in the corner, it's Harrison on the far side. Off the screen on the baseline, the far side corner, Neal. Pump fakes, lobs inside to the big man. Harrison with 2 hands covered by 2. Simpkins as well as Clark, and a foul will be called.
And I'm not sure who that was. 4 with the foul.
Coach Sala wanted to travel instead of foul called. That's what's going to be key in this one. Kendre stayed calm and composed and forced the foul on Monroe despite being covered by 2. He could have wailed his elbows. He could have gotten frustrated. Instead, he stayed patient in there, held the basketball with 2 hands up high, and forced the foul. Inbound to Jones from Neal. Around the perimeter, top of the key now in the corner. Off the screen from the wing. Neal's 3's off the side of the rim. It goes to the hands of the point guard, Chambers. Chambers with that 4.38 speed gets past the timeline left to right. Far side now for Clark, who passes it back to Chambers on the far side. Bounce pass to the free throw line. Into the hands of Benson. Back around the perimeter. Now Sheeran in the corner. Back to Clark here on the near side wing. Left side dribble past Jones on the elbow. Kicks it out to Benson. Now back on the perimeter into the hands of Clark. Clark with 1 hand passes it back to his point guard Chambers just off the RR logo at midcourt. Into the hands near side wing of Sheeran. Back off the screen. It's Clark looking to drive in the lane. That lane's closed by Harrison. Have to kick it out to the far side corner for Sheeran. Back to the basket. Sheeran on J9. Just off the low block into the paint. Off the heel rebound, Kendre. Outlet pass up the far sideline to Neal. From the wing, the scoop to the bucket. Draws the foul to the line. Doesn't fall, but he'll head to the line for 2. Deontay Neal.
You got number 10, Ivy. He's like, come on, man. That wasn't a foul. Hey, if you don't hold them hands up, that's a foul every time.
Got to give credit to Monroe. They're running with Reidsville in transition here. They want to play their game half court, but they're not afraid to match. Athletically, we talked about those guards, and they're playing well defensively. And the lane inside has been hard for Reidsville to get in to score unless in transition like we just saw.
Yeah,
there.
they're sticking with the zone, and you know when they try to get it inside to Kendre, like I said, they're double teaming and sometimes triple teaming him.
15-11 Reidsville, 6:18 to play here in the second. Bounce pass Sheeran, now near side. And the hands of point guard Chambers. It's not past midcourt. Does wing it all the way to the far side. Inside of the pass to Benson from Sheeran. It's stolen by the Rams. Cam Jones up the floor, the power forward at midcourt. Now from the free throw line, kicks it out. Harrison with the wing 3. It's off the side rim. Rebound here on the left side for Sheeran. Sheeran gets it to his point guard, Chambers. Left hand dribble, covered by Neal. Hasn't gotten past the timeline. Switches hands.
Oh, here we go.
It's poked away by Neal, but it's going to be saved in the corner by Chambers. And we're going to have a 5-second violation or a timeout. Looks like we'll have a timeout. Nope.
Yep, that's a turnover on Monroe. That'll be
a violation.
Ball.
Couldn't get past midcourt. So Reidsville basketball, a 4-point lead with 5:44 to play here in the second. Neal takes the basketball on the inbound, near side. Goes in the corner for Scales. On the near side, on the baseline behind the basket. Harrison back to the top of the key for Neal off the rim. Long rebound goes to the hands of Jamari Clark. Clark works his way near sideline from mid-floor. Right inside to Benson with one hand.
That was a good shot right there. Good inside move.
Great move on the baby hook for Benson. 15-13. Rams look to answer back right to left here in the second. 5:13 to play. They lead it by 2 here in the Sweet 16, round 3. Far side wing, handling the basketball is J9. Janiah Sharp, one-handed pass near side wing for Neal. Now back top of the key, let it fly, J9! Deep 3, he's got 8.
I think that's the shot right there that's going to get him going.
18-13 Rams. Full court pressure, far side. Clark now in the corner, near side Sheeran. Pass midcourt on the long pass, covered by Neal. Goes to Ivy. Ivy in the corner, covered by Jones. Back to Chambers on the far side wing. He stands with the basketball. Right hand dribble, now one-handed pass off the screen to Clark at the top of the key. J9's right there at the free throw line, gets the basketball on the steal. Handles the basketball near side, past the timeline. On the wing, and Benson's gonna draw a foul on the poke attempt, trying to get the ball away from J9. That's 14 fouls for Monroe, 0 for Reidsville. Here in the second quarter. Inbound for J9 near side in front of the Monroe bench. Neal goes to the free throw line on the lob pass. Up to Jones. The layup doesn't fall on the baseline. Will go out of bounds. Jones tried to save it after the miss, but it will go out of bounds. Monroe basketball as Xavion Ivy sets to inbound. He'll inbound to the right side of the hoop. Looks to the left side to Jamari Clark. Clark now full court pass. A cross-court pass in the hands of Chambers. Wing to wing. Clark now in the corner. The 3 attempt by Sheeran is way long. Right up the floor. Quick pass. J9 underhand layup from Deontay Neal. That was a 3-quarter court pass on the assist. 20-13. Clark badges the offense. Gets it to Benson at midcourt. It's ripped away by Jones in the hands of Scales. Now the point guard, Deontay Neal, top of the key. Crossover move with the right side to the left side. Now the right-hand dribble just off the right side wing. It's a Scales 3 off the side rim. A hand off Harrison on the rebound. It goes out of bounds.
And we got a timeout.
And a timeout on the floor. 7-point lead for the Rams. 20-13, 3:26 to play here in the second. 9 for Deontay, 10 for J9, and 2 for Harrison. 7 for Jamari Clark, 2 for Simpkins, 2 for Ivy, and 2 for Benson.
Big Wheel, that buzzsaw is starting to saw. I'm telling you, it's getting ready to happen.
You know, partner, the way I'm sweating, I could use some Kooler Ice.
We need to get you some Kooler Ice. We need to get you some oxygen. And you know what? We might need to get you a hot dog from the concession stand.
Oh, I already had one.
You already had one?
Hey, if I'm coming here, the chili dog's going down
That's
the killer.
what I'm
you know
talking
what I'm
about.
Oh, you know that was the pregame ritual. 20-13, 7-point lead for Reidsville. 3:26 to play here in the second. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by our friends at Pennrose Carwash, Kooler Ice, and Ancora Compassionate Care, as well as our friends at Rockingham Update.
Here we go. Coach Ross whoa.
The inbound goes right into Jones. That's going to be a goaltend. Jones went for the layup. It hung there on the rim. Harrison didn't want to wait for it to roll off the rim and went for the slam.
But did you see what they did right there? Reidsville got the ball back, and Coach Ross told them, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. They're not ready, not ready. And that was almost an easy 2, but
Harrison will get a breather. Brian Quinn in for the Rams. The pass attempt from Ivy with the full court pressure rolls past Clark on the far sideline and out of bounds. Reidsville basketball. Far sideline inbound on their side of the court here on the left side. Just off the wing. Bounce pass to the Rams logo on the wing. Neal will stand with it on the pass from Scales. Covered by Jamari Clark. Goes between the legs, takes a couple steps back to reset. Hesitation, crossover to the bucket, doesn't get the friendly roll. Rebound goes to the far side wing on a couple bounces to Scales. Reset offensively for the Rams. Driving in is J9. Ball goes loose on the layup attempt in the hands of Sheeran. He's still covered though by Gwynn. Clark now passes it to Chambers. He's walking to midcourt. He's got to get across it.
and
he does it. Nobody had any idea that the time was winding down. They were taking their time getting to midcourt.
I'm going to tell you, partner, the pressure of this Reidsville team right here, all the traps and stuff is starting to really get in Monroe's head.
That's the second time they've had the violation trying to get it past midcourt. So Rams inbound on the far sideline for J9. Bounces it in to Neal. Neal passes back to Sharp on the wing. Now back to the point guard here on the top of the key. Covered by Chambers. Just a little bit of space here on the near side wing. Off the screen, it goes to the hands of J9. Right hand dribble, one hand pass into the paint. And Cameron Jones went down hard on his leg on the near side elbow on the push foul.
Give him a minute, boys.
Ooh.
That didn't look good.
It didn't. I hope he's all right.
Come on, Cam. Oh, man, that didn't look good.
Well, Coach Ross and Athletic Director Joe Walker and our trainer out on the floor to help Cam.
Ross is going off.
Jones still down. It looked like his leg might have buckled a little bit.
It was his right leg. It bent back a little awkward. Come on, Cam. There he is.
He's going to get help here. He's up to his sitting up now. Going to get some help. He's standing. Not a lot of pressure.
He's walking it off, partner.
Hopefully he's all right. He heads to the sideline here to the bench. He is putting more pressure on it. That's a good sign. Oh, you hate to see that.
I had it in my head. I'm like, oh no. I feared the worst. I was like, oh no. It did not look good.
We'll give an opportunity for Jaquez Tynes, who steps in for Jones. It's Gwynn, Tynes, Sharp, Scales, and Neal for your Rams. For Monroe, it's Chambers, Clark, as well as Ivy, Benson, and Gaddy.
So Times here will replace Cameron Jones on the free throw line.
In the bonus, first one doesn't fall. As team foul number 5 for Monroe here in the second quarter.
All right, partner, I got you right here. I'll tell you what he's got to do. Bend his knees. I'm telling you, it's an art to the free throw. Bend your knees.
It's like a brush stroke.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Here you go. Watch this. Look. Boom.
There it is. 21-13 Reidsville. 2:22 to play here in the second. Kagan Chambers with the basketball. The point guard passes to Gaddy here on the near side wing and gets it back from him on the handoff. Far side, Clark now in the corner to Gaddy. Inside to Ivy and back out to the perimeter. Chambers looks near side for Benson. On the corner, back around the opposite side, the left side in the hands of Gaddy from Clark. Now Chambers handles it. Covered by Neal. Near side wing. It's a handoff again from Clark. Wide open in the paint. And flips up the reverse layup on the pass from Chambers. He's got 9, 21-15, Reidsville. Up the floor, right to left, stop and pop for 3, Deontay Neal. Off the rim, goes in the hands of Jamari Clark. Near side, past the timeline, left to right. Clark looks here in the corner to Chambers, now back to Clark. It's been 1 in 3, the difference makers for Monroe here this evening. Off the screen, far side, Chambers. On the wing, back to Clark at the top of the key. Neal gives him some space. Now Gwynn covers on the far side in the corner. Benson's shot is way long from the corner in the hands of J9. Right up the floor, near side wing. Looks for the drive, penetrate, kick it back out. Corner 3, Neal off the side rim. Rebound to Scales, reset it. Top of the key, drive, J9.
There it
the
is.
windmill layup is good. He's got 12. 55 seconds to play here in the second. 23-15 Reidsville. Gaddy, far side, now in the hands of Chambers. Chambers back to Clark and back to Chambers on the far side wing. Defense is all in the paint for Reidsville, letting Monroe pass it around the perimeter. Here's a Clark 3, and it rattles home from the far side.
Yeah, Clark's having a ball game right now.
He's got 12, the senior. 23-18, 29 seconds remaining here in the first half. Deontay Neal looks to Coach Ross. Now just past the timeline here near side wing. Looks back one more time to the bench. Wayne will set a screen for Neal here on the near side wing, and we're going to have a carry. Don't see that very often.
What I'm not seeing uncharacteristic out of Reidsville, though, is they're playing a zone. Usually when we see teams like that pass the ball around, Coach Ross will let the dogs eat. They'll trap them. But, they're playing, pretty conservative.
Top of the key now for Chambers. Gets it to Clark. That's a long three at the buzzer. It hits the backboard in the hands of Scales as we head to the locker room. After one half, a 23-18 lead for Reidsville. Here in the Sweet 16, round 3 against Monroe. It was an 11-11 ball game after one, a 23-18 game. Now here after 2. Glad to have you along here in the comments. 75 strong. Want to say hello to those listening in. Tracy and Justin. Justin says hello, David.
Hey, what's up, Berlin?
Big Wheels in the house. Melita's in the house. DJ, Pennrose Carwash, and our guy Steve Harrison.
What's up,
Mr.
man?
54.
I'm going to tell you what, I'm putting Steve on my team. I'm telling you.
Oh.
I would run point. He would be the big man for sure. I'm lobbing it up. I'm getting like 20 assists a game.
By point, you mean you're going to inbound it to him?
Absolutely.
Okay,
with
good.
the lob,
I'm just
that's
making
it.
sure.
Two-handed slam.
Tracy in the comments. Love to see it. 23-18, your scoring summary. 9 for Deontay Neal, 12 for J9, and 2 for Kendra Harrison, 1 as well for Jaquez Tynes. Cameron Jones exiting the game late in the second quarter with an injury. We'll see if he comes back with a leg injury. Tynes came in to shoot the free throws for Cameron Jones near the end of the second quarter. For the Monroe Redhawks, 12 for Jamari Clark, 2 for Bryson Simpkins, 2 for Xavion Ivey, Jabari Benson with 2. Kagan Chambers has yet to score, but he's been a big difference maker defensively and just distributing the basketball.
I'll tell you what, yeah, he has for sure. And, man, Monroe's got a good game plan right now. It seems to be working pretty good. They're taking their time, trying to find the open shot, slowing down the game, which, Reidsville's not used to. But Reidsville's had the wide open shots in the half-court offense, just not knocking them down. With Kendra, they're double and triple teaming him, so it's hard for him to get some points in there. But we got to speed up the game a little bit more. Once we speed up the game and start, making some of these wide open shots that we've missed, I think we're going to be okay.
It's time for our favorite segment of the half. Who's in the house in Reidsville's house? All right, you ready, partner?
All right, let's go.
I see
The general.
I see the general, Jerry Talley's in the house.
The general got a Duke. He's got a Duke
about
sweatshirt on.
Former Mayor James Festerman
All
and
right.
current Mayor Donald Gorham.
How about that?
Rockingham County Schools Superintendent Sean Stover is in the house.
All right.
Let's see who else we got.
We got our man from Carolina Vision.
We got our man from Carolina Vision.
He's in the house.
Our guy Maurice Tinsley's in the house. You need a haircut. That's where you go.
Hey, I got it.
All
I'll take a fade.
Let's see. Jerry Talley's wearing Duke colors.
Yeah,
so
come
I
on,
don't know
man.
about that. I don't know about that.
You know what? Hey, he can't tell us what to do until football starts. We're going to get him up here. We're going to rip him a new one.
And, of course, for the first time over the last about 4 or so games, the mayor of RoCo Radio in the house, David Woods. Glad to have you back, partner.
Hey, man, it's glad to be back. Had to take some time away, make sure the family was good. We're back strong. Man, I'm glad to be back here, man. Back here with my brother, Joe Dexter. Taking care of business like we do.
Rams taking care of business, shaky in the first 11-11 game after one. It's that readjustment, though, that makes Reidsville so tough. They did it at the start of the second quarter to get the advantage. Now, credit to Monroe at the end of the quarter there with Clark with the big three and readjusting. This could have been a 23-15 game at the half, a big shot at the half there. But the adjustment of how they're going to play their game offensively and defensively has been fluid from the start of the first quarter, where they started figuring things out to in the second, it was really close down the lane. We got to close the paint because that's where Monroe wants to go. Force them to shoot the three and work it around the perimeter and not get a look inside. That made a big difference in the second quarter. Versus offensively, it's time to go inside more. It's time to use the perimeter to set up the inside game.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like too. I've always said, Reidsville's always needed to work on their half-court offense. The full court. The fast break has always been good. There's absolutely no problems right there. But the half-court, I think they need to work it inside to Kendre. They're over-pursuing and they're double-teaming Kendre, so there's going to be J9s. There's going to be a Deontay Neal. There's going to be a Scales wide open somewhere on the perimeter, and there has been. But, they're just not hitting their shots. But it's going to happen. It's basketball.
That's playoff basketball in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's going to happen. But once they start hitting those shots, man, I think we're going to be just fine. Everything's going to be good, but we're being patient. We're doing what we need to do right now.
Last Friday, it was 6 for 26 from three, and they're still able to pull out that big second half. It's really making the adjustments to what playoff basketball is about, and we know at some point in these playoffs they're going to light up, and it's going to warm up from downtown. We'll see if it happens here in the second half, but that's the thing about this team and how they're coached. They don't have to depend on one aspect of the game to win it. And the difference in championship-level basketball, in my opinion, I don't know if you agree or not. I don't know. I might be a little bit out of the loop on this, but the key to championship basketball to me is being able to stay in a game. If Reidsville was just a perimeter team, right? Mm-hmm. They probably would have lost on Friday. If they're just a perimeter team here tonight, it's being able to adjust to what you like to do what you need to do that makes a championship team. And they've proven over the last 3 years that they can do that in almost every single game.
And you credit that to Coach Ross. He keeps these guys grounded. We know they're good. Everybody in the state of North Carolina knows. Everybody in the United States knows they're good. But he keeps them grounded, and he always pushes them to want to do better as a team. He finds different things, even if they're scoring, just like last game against North Stanley. You said they shot 6 for 23. They still put up 94 points. We know how good this team is. But it's a good coach, man, that keeps these kids grounded, gets them back on the straight and narrow, and goes to work.
And if not just the straight and narrow, but if they don't have a path, he finds that path for them.
He will.
Here's a good example in the first half. This is in all credit to Monroe. Really, really good fundamentally. This is a really good basketball team.
Yeah.
They've been coached great throughout this year and throughout the last several years. They play the way that they want to in the first quarter. Mm-hmm. Really the difference is the 2 or 3 turnovers that Reidsville forced, either on the violation at midcourt that led to points or just on turnovers that were uncharacteristic of the team. That's what you're talking about with finding the lanes and finding the ways to win and finding the differences on the floor. That's what they were able to do in the first half to make it this separation instead of being down by 2, 3, 5.
Yep, and you got to give credit where credit's due. Not many teams hold Reidsville to 23 points at the half. But the second half still has to come. Can they keep holding Reidsville? We'll tell. Time will tell soon enough, partner.
DJ, due to NCHSAA regulations, we're only allowed to broadcast audio of the basketball game. (23-18) at the half as we get ready here for the third quarter. With 8 minutes on the clock here in the third, it won't be Cam Jones out there for the Rams. The call will go to the senior Brian Quinn. It's Quinn, Kendre Harrison, Christian Scales, J9, and Deontay Neal out there for the Rams. Monroe gets the basketball here to start the third, right to left. Chambers, it's in the hands of Simpkins. Simpkins here on the wing, covered by Scales with that long wingspan. Both hands out in the air. Off the screen to Gaddy, covered by Harrison on the near side wing. Gaddy takes 2 dribbles, walks towards midcourt and passes it to Ivy. Ivy back to the basket at the free throw line, covered by J9. Stolen away by Brian Gwynn. The senior off the hands of Benson, and the one-handed layup for Gwynn. That could be a big moment in this game for the senior. 25-18. Chambers covered by Neal. Middle of the floor. Back to the basket. Pass on the bounce, far side in the hands of Simpkins. Simpkins will heel hold left side. Pass it to Gaddy. Gaddy waits with the basketball, covered by J9. Just off the near side wing. Now in the corner off the screen, it's Chambers, covered by Neal. Near side, just in front of the Monroe bench. Looks to drive to the baseline. He stopped on his pivot foot by Neal. Pass it to the elbow here near side. Ivy back out to Chambers. Chambers resets on the wing. Just off midcourt now, the bounce pass. Top of the key, just off of it for Simpkins. Bryson Simpkins with 2 points. Holds it with the left hand. Marks in the offensive play call. Works his way near side wing. Off the screen to Gaddy. Here on the near side wing. Lane closed on the baseline by J9. J9 holds tightly. We're going to have a foul here on the near side wing. Coach Ross wanted a carry call on Gaddy. Instead, it will be a foul. The first foul, I believe, for J9. Inbound on the near side for Bryson Simpkins, just in front of the scorer's table. Covered by Scales. He gets it in to his point guard, Kagan Chambers. Covered by Neal. Now past midcourt. Left hand dribble, trying to protect the basketball from Neal. Bounce pass here near side to Simpkins. Simpkins back to the top of the key for Gaddy. Between the legs. Loses handle of the basketball. Picked up by Ivy at the free throw line. Pivots to Gaddy. We have a travel.
I mean, even though they're taking their time, trying to get a good shot, there has not been a good shot. Great defense by Reidsville.
Reidsville fans going nuts after the turnover. 25-18 Rams here in the third. Near side wing entry pass back to the basket for Harrison from J9. On the left side block, goes to the bucket with 2 hands.
Should have had it and 1, but that's all right.
Agent 0 with 4, 27-18. Simpkins, past midcourt, takes a stutter step. Now stops just at midcourt, covered by Scales, near side, looks for the drive on the wing. Now in the corner for Simpkins, can't find a lane, closed again by Scales. Pass it to Gaddy, near side, just off the scorer's table. On the screen to Chambers, and we're gonna have a foul off the basketball on Monroe. The foul's gonna be on Benson. And Reidsville ball, they'll inbound on the far side of the hoop on the baseline. Easy bounce pass in from J9 to Neal, left to right. Past the timeline, no pressure for J9 and Neal. J9 lobs inside, baseline, near side, wing out from the baseline from Harrison to Scales for 3 on the far side wing.
Now we're starting to knock them down.
Scales went 0 for 6 last game against North Stanley. That's a big one there. Was working on his threes before the game. That's a huge shot. 30-18. Great pass from Kendra Harrison, the one-handed pass from the near side baseline to the far side. Harrison with a block in the paint on the drive. There by Chambers. It's recovered by Neal. Goes to the free throw line, bounce pass inside, intended for Gwynn, just a bit low. Will go out of bounds behind the hoop. And the crowd goes nuts. Number 10 is returning to the court, Cameron Jones.
Mama, here comes that man.
After the injury, he returns and right to full court defense. Covering Chambers on the far sideline, almost loses it, gets it to Ivy right on the out of bounds mark. Benson back to Ivy in the hands of Gaddy, and now back on the far side. Simpkins covered by Neal on the wing with the left hand. Goes back, now tries to spin, can't get past Neal. He's right there, full defense by Neal. Dumps it off to Ivy inside, stripped away by Harrison. Up the floor, into the paint for Neal for the easy layup on the knee side. He's got 11. 32-18, turn it up Reidsville.
All right, partner, here comes the dogs. It's trap time. Let's see.
Far side for Neal, covering Chambers.
Oh, come on.
Chambers ran right into the arm, foul called on Neal.
You've had so many push-offs and so many elbows, yet they still don't call it.
Got a timeout on the floor. With 4:03 to play here in the third, a 32-18 lead for your Rams. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Ancora Compassionate Care, formerly known as Hospice of Rockingham County. Their name changed in late 2023, but they're the same community-based, mission-focused hospice and palliative care provider the community has known since 1987, providing specialized care for those coping with serious illness. Ancora's mission is to be a supportive presence for life's journey when greater comfort and rapid support matter most. Choose Ancora Compassionate Care. They'll always be there because they've always been here. To learn more about how Ancora can support you, visit Ancoracc.org.
So if I'm Coach Ross right here, when they start passing the ball around trying to find a good shot, I'm sending everybody. I'm gonna start trapping like there's no tomorrow. Tell them to, let's cut this mess out. And let's get this transition game going.
Simpkins in the corner for Monroe. Down 32-18. Works his way to the top of the key. Hands it off to Clark. Now far side for Gaddy.
Yes, there it is.
Carry of Gaddy, his second carry of the night at midcourt. So Reidsville inbound after the turnover on the far side. Bounce pass in from J9 to midcourt for Neal. Neal switches hands. Right hand dribble for Neal. Entry pass is stolen by Simpkins, batted away, intended for Harrison. Now in the hands of Chambers. Chambers goes far side for Gaddy on the wing. Off the screen, it's Simpkins on the far side in the corner off the baseline. Top of the key now handed off to Chambers. Some space by Neal. Now he'll close that space on the far side wing. Hand off to Clark. Jamari Clark handles it for Monroe. Right to left. Here we're in the third. Kick it out in the corner. Chambers thought about shooting. Instead, bounce pass inside to Ivy. Back out. Here's the drive from Clark. It's blocked, but that's going to be a foul on Harrison.
Yeah, he got him on the arm.
So on the foul, it's Clark to the line. He's got 12 tonight. 12 of Monroe's 18. Misses the first. That's what we talked about, is the free throws could be key. Clark is 60% free throw shooter on the season. Misses the first. Second is good. Clark with 13. 3:04 to play here in the third. 32-19 Reidsville with the basketball left to right. 2-3 zone looks like for Monroe. J9 sets a little screen on Chambers. Not enough, though, for space for Neal, who handles the basketball with his left hand. Between the legs, switches, slides, now pass to the far side wing. J9!
There it is.
Splash! A deep three! From the far side, he's got 15. A big night for J9, who eclipsed 2,000 points last time out against North Stanley in his career. Here's the pass from Chambers, looking inside to Simpkins, stripped away by Scales. Right up the floor. J9 and open off the glass. Slam to Kendra Harrison on the dish off the glass from J9. Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Take that back to Monroe.
Near side, it's Clark. Top of the key.
Take that back to Monroe.
Uncle Rod's letting them have it.
Near side, here's the drive from Clark. It's swatted by Jones. Stays in bounds, goes into the corner. It's off the hands of Ivy. Reidsville ball. Wide open lane. J9 off the glass to Kendra Harrison.
Big Wheel, where you at, my man? The buzzsaw is here.
37-19. 1:49 to play here in the third. Neal wipes the sweat off his brow with his jersey. Now past midcourt. Here on the near side at the Rams logo on the wing, covered by Gaddy. Looks inside, instead goes to the corner for J9. Now to the free throw line. Cam Jones turns, faces, and gets it in the paint.
Let's go, Cam.
First points of the night for Cam Jones. makes it a 20-point ball game. 39-19. Wide open look, though, on the opposite side for Simpkins off the glass. 39-21, 1:15 to play here in the third. Rams slow it down past the timeline, left to right. Neal works his way here again to the near side corner and will stand at the Rams logo. Bounce past the free throw line for Jones. Now in the corner near side for J9, who's calling for a travel.
Partner, when I got my glasses on, that's 20/20 vision. I didn't see that.
I don't think Coach Ross saw it either.
I didn't see that.
He did not like that. Chambers past the timeline. Bounce pass here near side to Gaddy. Gaddy covered by J9. Off the screen, it's Chambers on the perimeter. Ivy gets it on the near far side wing. Now near side to Simpkins. Scales right there on the elbow with the defense. Swats at the basketball. Gets a piece of it, but holding on is Simpkins, who passes it to Gaddy. Now near side, Chambers covered by Neal. Again off the screen. Inside, it's Clark looking for Simpkins.
All right, see, they're in the corner. I would trap right there.
Here comes the pressure from J9 and Scales. Pass inside to Gaddy. Harrison's right there, so he works it all the way out to the corner. The shot's off the backboard. That should be out of bounds. It is.
Yeah, but see, like what we just saw right there, once they hit the corner and, he kind of discombobulated right there, bring the dogs, let them trap.
Here's my thoughts on it. They can't shoot from the perimeter.
No.
So just let them work the perimeter and keep that interior where you have Scales and don't bring him out on the trap. 39-21, 13 seconds to play here in the third. They're going to force those shots anyways. Here's the screen from Jones on Gaddy. Gets Neal to the bucket on the opposite side, the far side. What a beautiful play by Jones to set up Neal at the horn. 41-21. As we head to the fourth quarter.
Oh, J9 is talking some junk. Let's go.
Tonight's game brought to you by Kooler Ice. Looking for a fresh ice and water option that's ready when you are? Kooler Ice is countywide. Find fresh ice and water at Little Caesars Pizza in Mayodan at 6734 NC 135 across from Walmart. And visit our local Kooler Ice dispenser at Schul's Home at 1635 Freeway Drive in Reidsville. And for all your ice and water needs here in the Ville, you can also find us at Pennrose Carwash at 1509 South Scales or in Eden at Two Rivers Plaza at 307 West Meadow Road. Get Kooler Ice, great tasting, fresh ice 24/7 at all 4 locations, 16 pounds or 32 pounds, plus premium water by the gallon or 5 gallons at Kooler Ice, fresh and ready when you are. Tonight's game also brought to you by Pennrose Carwash, voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County. Pennrose Carwash at 1509 South Scales has been serving the Reidsville and surrounding area for over 50 years. Pennrose Carwash open 24/7 and find us on Facebook celebrating our 55th anniversary at Pennrose Carwash, voted #1 Rockingham County Car Wash 3 years in a row. 41-21, Reidsville here in the Sweet 16. Fourth quarter. Reidsville and Monroe. Neal takes the basketball on the inbound from Scales on the far side and walks over here to the near side wing and just stands there with the basketball. Now take a couple steps back. Looking to drive, crossover move from right to left. Sits just off the paint. Now inside at the free throw line, Jones passes it out of bounds on the far side. Monroe basketball as Bryson Simpkins will inbound. 20-point lead for the Rams.
Deontay Neal getting into it with the official a little bit, letting him have it.
Chambers hands it off far side for Clark. Backhanded bounce pass to Ivy on the perimeter. It's Gaddy here on the near side wing. Monroe just cannot go in the lane. There's nothing there for them. Jones with the on-ball coverage. He'll draw the foul. Gaddy does on Jones. So an inbound here on the near side. Simpkins gets it in to Kagan Chambers. Chambers holds with the left hand, covered by J9. A little screen, gives some room on the pass to Clark, but the ball's loose in the paint. Picked up by Gaddy, but stripped away by Jones. Right up the floor to J9 on the far side wing. Looks inside for the Euro.
No!
And they're going to call a charge, a defensive charge pull there by Chambers. Offensive foul on number 3.
How could it be a charge when he's fading away? Okay. We'll let that one slide, I reckon. Good day.
Inbound for Simpkins. Full court pressure. 3 back on the floor. Clark tries to drive, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. On the left side of the hoop. So an inbound for Monroe. Bryson Simpkins to inbound to the left side of the basket. 41-21 Rams, 6:54 to play. Far side corner pass to Clark. Now on the far side, Gaddy. Simpkins off the elbow. Bounce pass inside to Clark, who hands it off to Ivy. He's got nowhere to go, so he's got to go back out to the perimeter. Didn't want anything with Kendrick.
Oh, man.
On the screen, though, nice wraparound on the baseline from the far side to the bucket for Simpkins. He's got 6.
That was a good backdoor cut for an easy shot right there.
So J9 holds on the far side for the Rams. Left side dribble between the legs. Now in the corner, Cam Jones from Scales. On the wing, Scales back to J9. Reverse layup, hangs up, does not fall. Harrison gets a rebound behind the basket. Looks to go to the hoop and draws the foul to the line for Agent Zero. (41-23) as we get the floor mopped up just a bit. J9 helping with those nice purple Nikes. Some nice shoes. We need to get you a pair of those.
Hey, I'll rock
I'd
a pair
rock
of
them
them.
too.
Give me a pink RoCo Radio dress shirt, or a purple, I mean.
There you go. Kendra to the line after the foul on the rebound. First one doesn't fall. Brian Gwynn will check in for Cam Jones. Mrs. Murphy giving Jones a big high five. One of Reidsville's biggest fans.
All right, Kendra. Bend your knees. Make your free throw. There you go. Take your deep breath. Bend your knees. Ooh.
Off the heel, rebound. It's going to be a box out foul, I think. It's a bandbox here in Reidsville. Full house. Temperature up to 98 degrees.
Oh, it
That's
feels
the way we like it.
yeah.
What a crowd here for tonight's Sweet 16 matchup. Officials discussing what happened after the free throw. They'll say it's a foul, Monroe basketball. Inbound for Simpkins. Gets it in to Chambers. On the far side for Gaddy. On the near side, working around the perimeter. Past the full court pressure. Clark goes right inside to Ivy with the opposite hand on the far side. He's got 4. 41-25. 5:50 to play. Neal takes it up the floor for your Rams and sits at the logo. Wynn will work his way inside the paint now in the corner as Neal handles the basketball. J9 on the wing, Scales on the opposite wing, and Harrison in the corner on the far side. Neal looks to drive. It's going to be a possession arrow call.
Oh, my goodness.
Instead of a foul. Neal was driving in the lane.
Wow.
They've given the ball to Monroe, but Reidsville is saying it's our possession.
They've got the possession error going to Monroe.
So Simpkins does inbound it to Chambers. Now far side to Gaddy. Gaddy past the timeline to Ivy. Almost loses it in the corner. Chambers picks it, or Clark picks it up though. Inside to Simpkins.
Oh, he
back
traveled?
to the basket. Travels with the ball, but no call. Oh, they'll get the call.
I mean, good day, partner. He was doing a Cupid shuffle in the paint. What are we doing?
I thought for sure that was going to be a foul call there.
I mean, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left. I mean, we can do it on the dance floor, just can't do it on the basketball court.
I did it on the basketball court. That's why I was a wrestler. 41-25. Neal with the ball. Past the timeline, left to right. Rams lead it. 41-25, 5 minutes to play. J9 will take a one-handed pass near side Scales. Stops, thought about passing. Instead for three. All he hits is net, baby.
Let's go.
2 for 2 for tonight from the perimeter after an 0 for 6 performance against North Stanley. 44-25. Far side now for Clark. In the corner for Gaddy. Gaddy covered by J9. Now Simpkins covered by Scales. Passes it near side wing. Here's the try for Clark. That's a beautiful try past Cameron Jones. Jamari Clark's got 15.
Partner, Kendra got away with a technical right there. He shoved, took an elbow. He got away with one.
Scales near side wing. Will let it fly off the back iron. Rebound, battle inside off of Jones and Harrison. Goes to Gaddy of Monroe, up the floor, right to left and past the timeline. Chambers to Simpkins, who bounce passes it inside off the low block. Turnaround Jay for Gaddy here on the near side. 44-29, 4:04 to play. Neal walks it past the timeline. Passes it near side wing for Scales. Two hands on the basketball over his head. Passes it to Sharp just off the midcourt logo. Far side wing now for Neal. Jones with the screen. Set it on the pass from Neal to J9. In and out on the wing three. Rolls all the way to the far side and picked up by Ivy of Monroe. Gets it up the floor to Clark, who loses it. Jones picks it up. Now to Scales, goes to the basket, and he'll draw the foul. Looking for the bucket. The foul called on Chambers on the left side of the floor. And I think Coach Stahl wants a timeout. He's begging for a timeout. They won't give it to him. There it
goes. There we go.
3:34 to play here in the fourth. 44-29. Reidsville. Deontay Neal with 13, 15 for Janiah Sharp, 6 for Christian Scales, 2 for Cameron Jones, 6 for Kentre Harrison, 2 for Brian Quinn, and 1 for Jaquez Times. 15 of the 29 for Monroe from senior Jamari Clark, 6 from Bryson Simpkins, the junior, and 4 from senior Xavion Ivy, 2 for Jabari Benson. One of the leading scorers for Monroe, Kagan Chambers, 11 points per game. He's been held scoreless so far tonight. David, you got Pennrose Carwash laughing at the Cupid Shuffle in the comments. Brenda says she's Cameron's biggest fan. Oh, you're going to be in a fight with my partner over here.
Hey, Brenda, we can share. We can definitely share.
Speaking of Brenda, we are protected in Reidsville High School tonight. There's nothing coming from the blind side against David Woods, and Joe Dexter, as Noah Ware protects us here on the left side.
Absolutely, man.
Sitting here watching the game with
like
us.
I told him. And first is good by Scales. Yeah, like I told him, Noah Ware, and the first pick of the NFL draft, the Dallas Cowboys select.
Why would you wish that on that young man?
Hey.
Both free throws for Scales, 46-29.
When he makes it to the pros, my man, I'm going to be his agent.
Okay. Get him out of Dallas, would you? Clark on the far side, passes it off the screen to Chambers, covered by Neal. Off the wing, switches hands into the lane. Passes it to Simpkins at the free throw line, who gets out of the paint and back to the perimeter. Near side for Jamari Clark. Clark covered by Jones. On the wing, a pass to the point guard, Chambers. Chambers can't find anybody to pass it to. Thought about going inside to Ivy, but he's covered by Harrison. They've avoided Harrison on offense and defense. Back to the top of the key. Here's the drive from Chambers. Jones is right there for the coverage. They'll call a foul, though.
Yep, that'll be on Scales. That'll be, I think, his second.
That'll be team foul number 4. Clark to the line for Monroe. Free throw is good.
He's had a solid ball game tonight for sure.
He's got 16. More than half of the points for Monroe. Second is good. 46-31 Reidsville. 2 minutes, 45 seconds to play. Neal walks up the court. Best point guard in the state. Far side to Jones. Looks inside on the entry from the wing to Harrison. It's knocked out of bounds by Simpkins. So Reidsville inbound. J9 to inbound on the left side of the baseline. Bounce pass into Jones in the corner, who drives right to the lane with one hand, floats it up. It does not fall. Rebound inside to Monroe and Simpkins. Gaddy handles it now with the left hand. Past the timeline at midcourt. Covered by Harrison and J9. Near side on the pass, it's Simpkins.
Oh, and one.
And one from the corner. The baseline drive on the dish from Clark. Free throw doesn't fall. Rebound to Jones. 46-33 lead for your Rams. The winner will advance to face the winner of number 4 Salisbury, number 12 Lincolnton in the Elite 8. We'll have a foul at midcourt.
There it is.
A pushing foul on Kagan Chambers. Score updates, we don't have many. We'll get to those here in just a second. Neal drives past the coverage of Chambers on the near side wing, goes around into the paint, all the way out to the opposite side of the perimeter and midcourt with his speed.
I mean, it's 1:47 left. You might as well do what Monroe's been doing the whole game.
They hold the basketball in a timeout, I believe, from Coach Sowell. 30-second timeout, 46-33, 1:45 to play here in the fourth. Glad to have you listening in. Let us know where you're listening in from. 112 strong. Thanks to our sponsors tonight, Pennrose Carwash, Kooler Ice, and Ancora Compassionate Care. Dedication, we talked about efficiency in our pregame show. It's been a big part of this game, but you know who's most efficient? Our sponsors, man.
Absolutely.
They get it done in our community. They get it done for local athletics. Longtime supporters, Pennrose Carwash, Kooler Ice, Ancora Compassionate Care, and Rockingham Update.
You know who else has been efficient tonight?
Who's that?
My man Noah Ware over there. Top Flight Security. He takes care of us. He takes good care of us, Brenda Ware. So we're taking care of him. He takes care of us.
.145 to play out of the timeout. Reidsville ball inbound on the far sideline. Here comes Neal off the pressure, gets it from J9, covered by Chambers, spins out of the coverage, now works his way near side. They're just going to hold the basketball, and rightfully so. J9 on the far side, trapped by 2. Back to midcourt for Neal, covered by 2 as well, and we'll have a foul. Push foul with 1:30. So inbound near side, that's going to be team foul number 4 for Monroe. So inbound near side at the Rams logo, just off the bench. Goes all the way on the inbound on the left side. Does J9 to Neal, who now walks past midcourt. Now he'll face pressure from Chambers. Pass it to Scales in the far side wing. Chambers covers. Gaddy with the help defense. Holding on to it at midcourt is Deontay Neal. Spins away from pressure. Mr. Flash with the no-look pass inside to Scales with 2 hands off the low block on the left side. As Coach Neal waves goodbye to the Monroe Redhawks.
See y'all later. Y'all be safe going home tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
48-33. Far side crossover, baseline. Jay does not fall for Chambers. Rebound, Kendre. Neal holds with 50 seconds. Now he'll walk past midcourt.
He's
Met
still
by Chambers.
He's still awake.
Now the
whole
fans are waving as Neal drives in the lane and gets the layup. (50-33). Here's a far side Euro from Chambers. It's blocked by Scales. Out of bounds on the baseline. Keep it with Monroe. 25.9 seconds on the clock. 50-33.
Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah.
Chambers to Gaddy.
Hey, hey, hey.
Chambers 3 doesn't fall. Gaddy put it back attempt is blocked by Scales, and a foul on the handle of the basketball by Clark.
Goodbye.
Oh, here goes the crowd. Charlie Conway of the Mighty Ducks is out of here.
Oh, man. Hey, I seen Deion Sanders tonight, too.
You did?
I did.
You saw 21 in here.
I did. If you look down here and you see the cowboy hat and the gray beard, you'll see it.
Free throw is good for Clark. Great game for Jamari Clark, 18. Total points, a timeout on the floor with 16.3. Sorry, not a timeout, just a full substitution. We'll see Smith and Brown and Galloway and Tynes and Savion Johnson for the Rams. Jamari Clark's second free throw is off the front iron. Tynes puts a hand on it, but rebound goes to Chambers, who gets his first bucket of the night with 12 seconds left. 9 seconds on the clock. Galloway holds the basketball, passes it up the floor. Far side Brown, he's going to let it fly. It's off the rim. Tynes with the putback. No, at the horn. Horn sounds a 51-35 win for the Reidsville Rams here in round number 3. 38 straight at home. 57 straight wins over this last 2 seasons. 13-0 record at home moves to 14-0. 14-1 in the playoffs over the last 3 years. The Rams moved to 28-0 on this season. Final score 50-36. Let's take a look at your scoring summary. It started off even after one, 11-11, but the Rams do what the Rams do. They get some separation, a 23-18 lead at the half. 41-21 is your difference, a difference by 20 at the end of 3, and a final score of 51-35. Here's what tonight proved to me, David. They can score 90, they can score 30. It doesn't matter. They're going to control the game, and at the end of the day, there's a good chance they're going to be leading by double digits.
That's absolutely right. They can play at any kind of pace that needs to be played. It's like tonight. You got to give a shout out to Monroe, man. They held Reidsville to 50 points. That's absolutely hard to do. But Reidsville can play with any kind of. But they could play fast. They could play slow. It doesn't matter, man. They were very good in the half-court game tonight, too, as well. They got to clean up some things because, like I said, we're on to the Elite Eight, but it's going to get tougher. It might be that chance. Shelby might be coming around. We don't know how good Shelby is. Salisbury, we don't know.
That word's not allowed around here.
I know that. I know. Trust me.
Big Will's going to get you.
But they know what side I'm on. And we haven't got any score updates as of right now.
The only score update we have is Shelby and Bandy's. It's 18-10. Spartans or Trojans lead it over the Golden Lions in the second quarter. We don't have a score update for Salisbury and Lincolnton. I don't think that game is getting underway until 7:30. So we probably won't be able to have any score update for that one before we head out of here. We'll see if we can catch Coach Ross here at the end of the game. So a Friday home game against the winner of Salisbury and Lincolnton is on the way.
Good see.
Salisbury, both of those two teams, in the top 5 in RPI at the end of the season alongside Reidsville. So that could be one heck of a matchup to wrap up the home season. Final home game of the year will be next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Then it's off to the semifinals and finals in Winston-Salem. So I just want to encapsulate this playoff run. We talked about it a little bit in the pregame show.
Yeah.
It's a 14-1 run over the last 3 seasons. That only lost in the state championship game, right?
That's right.
Heading into today, they've outscored opponents 1,098 to 774. So on average, they're outscoring teams 78 to 55. That's a 23-point difference in the playoffs.
That is absolutely amazing. It just comes to show, man. I mean, the talent, but the coaching staff. The coaching staff, like I said, and I'll say it again, keeps these guys grounded. There's plenty of things to work on. Even though you're blowing out teams left and right, there's always something to work on, something to get better. And that's what Coach Ross instills. I mean, it is – I'm just happy to be a part of it, man.
There's something that can be said, and I agree with this 100%. It's easier to get a good team to play the best for the potential, get a good team to play to the best of their potential. It's harder to get a great team to reach greatness. Not only reach greatness, stay at greatness, and reach beyond what greatness is defined as. And that's what this team has done over the last 3 seasons. And you look at what Coach Ross has done, 132-17 record over his stretch of 6 seasons as the head coach at Reidsville High School. He's built a culture. He's built a process. And as you get older and I get older and all of those listening in, we find out that the key to success in life and these key moments for these guys, whether they continue to play basketball at the college level, while they continue to work in our communities, wherever they move on to, they're learning how to build processes and to succeed and to win when it's not easy to win, meaning when things aren't going your way, you better find a way.
Absolutely.
And that's what they do.
That's what they do. And I'm going to tell you, here's one thing that I'm really starting to see a lot more, and we have argued this for since we've been together. Finally, as I'm looking right here, I'm looking at Deontay Neal. He's talking to 2 scouts from UNCG. People are noticing. It's about time.
It's about darn time.
It's about
As
time.
As Lizzo would say, it's about darn time. A visit to VCU last week, unofficial for Deontay. I believe an unofficial to Tennessee as well.
Yep.
The playoff performance that we've seen.
Here's my man.
As we welcome in head coach Jason Ross. Coach, that's a tough Monroe team, a battle in the first half, but you guys were able to adjust. Not only did you adjust offensively, but defensively you were able to stick in the paint and force them in the perimeter.
They play that 1-2-2, 3-2 matchup zone. It gave us some problems in the first quarter. We weren't making shots we normally make. We started making those in the third quarter. I was most impressed with my guys' toughness. Monroe is a physical, tough team. A lot of athletes, they're coming off a state championship on the football field. So I told my guys before we came upstairs, those guys up there are not afraid of you. They know what it's like to win a championship. So they're going to give us a tough battle, and as you see, they did. But it's March Madness, so at this point, it's just win or go home. We won, so we're going to advance on and see where we are next week.
Coach, how do you think of your play of J9 in the first half? When you guys really couldn't get the offense going, he was the guy that was the spark in the first half to keep the game even.
Well, Janias takes big shots at big moments, and he makes what I like to call, some guys make shots, but he makes loud shots. And
That's a good way of putting it.
The shots he was making in the first half kept us connected to them, and with a little, I think 4 or 5 point lead. And I told the guys, we're up by 5. Didn't play our best half. Just come out in the third quarter, play hard. Our fans are going to push us a little bit, and we'll be fine.
What does this game tell you about your team? we were talking about it just before you came up here. Whether it's 90 points on the board or 50 points on the board, your team knows how to adjust in those games. Did this game tell you a little bit about that?
It did. You know, this team reminds me of a West Stokes. You're not going to score a lot of points on them because they're going to make you earn every basket you get. But it showed we can play any style. We can play fast. We can play slow. We can play half court. Or we can play full court press. That's the versatility we have on this team, the athletes we have, and we knew going in this would be a grind. We wouldn't score 80 or 90 points. We just wanted to have one more point than Monroe had, and thankfully we did.
Coach, I know every game you're going to be nervous going out there before the game, but do your nerves settle a little bit knowing that number one's your point guard in big games like this?
You know, it's funny. He asked me, he opened my office door and asked me before he came, he said, "Coach, are you nervous?" and I said, "No, I'm not nervous. I don't have to play." And he said, "Well, I'm a little nervous. I get nervous for every game, but, you know, with Deontay as our point guard, we always have a chance to win. No matter who we're playing, as long as he's on the court, we have a chance to win. And, you know, you all saw at the end of the game how he closed them out. He does that for us all the time. So we're just excited to have Deontay, who we consider one of the best players in the state of North Carolina."
So, Coach, I had to channel my inner Coach Ross tonight. You know, I wasn't here last game, and, you know, y'all won 94-62. I mean, that was a pretty good game. But the 62 points, that probably got on your nerves just a little bit. How'd your defense play tonight? How'd you like that tonight?
We played well. We held them to 36 points.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing, we let them get a few offensive rebounds that allowed them to get some putbacks. And I think that was attributed to a couple of our guys leaking out.
Yeah.
But, you know, we practice 5-on-0 in practice, and you can't leave till we get the rebound. So that's going to be a film emphasis for us tomorrow to show the guys that once the shot goes up, we can't get out. We can't expect Kendra or Cam to get the rebound. Everybody has to stay 5 solid. We'll be fine.
And you got to crash the boards. That's right.
Coach, one thing we talked about is efficiency in the playoffs. You look at Deontay, he shot 71% from the floor heading into this one in the playoffs. Overall, I think from two-point land, you've shot over 57%. How much is efficiency what you're preaching when it comes offensively and even defensively?
Well, we tell our guys, if you're open and it's a good shot, to take the shot. And because we want everyone to play free and loose. And I think as a coach, that allows your guys not to worry about, if I miss it, is coach going to take me out? Am I going to hit a buzzer? So everyone plays free, and Deontay takes good game shots. He doesn't force anything. If he's open, he'll take it. You see sometimes he gives you a little razzle-dazzle in and out, but that's just his game. But the way he shoots the ball, he didn't shoot it well in the first half at all tonight. He came up the steps and told me, he said, "Coach, I'm not shooting well." I said, "But you're playing defense. Just keep playing defense, and the offense will come," and it did.
And we talked about, too, like we always are talking about what can he improve on. Is there anything he can do better? I wanted to ask you about his three-point shooting. He went from 38% last year to 69% this year. When you talk and work with Deontay this offseason heading into this year, how much do you know he's going to continue to improve his game? That's just part of his identity, isn't it?
Well, every college coach that's recruiting Deontay told him and myself that he, at his size, he needs to be a lights-out three-point shooter. So he got in the gym and gets up shots day in and day out, 500 shots on the shooting machine just to improve that three-point shooting. And that just shows you what type of kid or young person he is, because the coaches told him, hey, at your size, you got to be able to shoot it. So he's worked on that three-point shot, and as you can see, it's paying off. I think yesterday he may have took 400 shots after practice from three-point range.
Man.
And, you know, that just shows about what he wants to do and what he wants to accomplish.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
We'll see you down the road in the Elite 8 on Friday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's head coach Jason Ross here on your post-game show on RoCo Radio. The Rams defeat Monroe 50-36. Big words right there, key words. I think that encapsulates what we saw on the court today.
Yes, it is, man. Wow. I mean, hey, we got another one coming up here. How about this? Deontay Neal. Here we go. Come on, man. Sit down and relax a little bit.
The post-game show, we're joined by the Mr. Pick to Your Pocket. We call him the Flash, Deontay Neal. Deontay, you weren't feeling it necessarily shooting in the first half, but you made the adjustments to help your team. how much is it important to you, first and foremost, to get your guys involved like you did in that first and second quarter?
Yeah, most definitely. My shots won't fall in tonight. It is what it is. We got the dub. That's all that matters. But just getting my teammates involved, they get them going early, and then mostly that just get them going. So once they get going, then I feel like I can get mine, get to my spots, and that just open the floor for me.
Okay, so Kendre's the locomotive, but you're the engine. What I see from you, you're humble, overhyped, your containedness on the floor. How important is that for you, for your teammates, to set the tone in big games and keep everybody comfortable and ready to do what they can do?
Yes, most definitely. Humble over hype. I try to stay as focused as I can, as humble as I can. Just keeping my guys composed. I know I gotta be a leader, not just vocally, but just showing them as well. So just trying to keep their head on straight. Anything can happen in any type of game. So just trying to keep them head on straight.
I got to put my partner on the spot, okay? If you were playing one-on-one with him, could you get 15 steals in less than a minute?
Oh, my goodness. He would light me up.
I'll say about 25.
About 25? Oh, here we go. I tell you what, so I got to ask you a question. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say this.
Yes,
You'd look real good in Carolina blue. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there right now. I know you met the GOAT. I know you met Bill Belichick.
That was crazy.
Have you met Hubert Davis yet?
Actually, I talked to him during Peace Jam over the summer.
Okay.
So that was only like the one time I talked to him. But me and Bill Belichick was crazy. I was so nervous talking to him. But, I mean, I'm going to UNC Saturday, actually. So it should be a good time.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, I told Jario Cobb, when we come down here for his commitment, I said, what's the odds of getting a band back together? I said, we got to get the band back together, man. We got to get the Chapel Hill lighting up again, win some football games. I'm a big Carolina fan, so, I got to recruit my boys, a little bit. But, hey, you know what? We talk about it, me and Joe all the time till we're red in the face. You're finally starting to see the offers come in like you're supposed to. I mean, we're going to call it like it is. You're the best point guard in the state of North Carolina.
Thank you.
I mean, you really are. What we see, man, is phenomenal. Your basketball skills, your basketball IQ is just through the roof. And I'm going to tell you, man, whoever gets you and wherever you decide to go, Chapel Hill, they are going to get a great player that is fundamentally sound. Forget the size, dude.
Yes, sir.
You play like you're 7 foot tall.
Thank you.
And we appreciate watching you, man. I just got to tell you that.
I appreciate you. Yes,
Couple more questions before we get out of here.
Yes, sir.
What do your teammates mean to you? These are guys that you played with for quite a long time.
Yes, sir. They mean everything to me. They're my brothers. I grew up with them, playing rec league at the Y. So, just playing now at the high school level, they mean everything to me. Even Cam and J9, I played with them since 3rd grade. So, they're literally my blood brothers for real. So
that's awesome, man.
Is there a better heat check guy than J9?
That boy, I know y'all know Isaiah Evans. That's who he remind me of.
Oh my!
He hit one. He could hit about 4 or 5 in a row.
And finally, basketball's in your blood. Coach was telling us about how you put 400 shots up after practice. Where does that come from, and how important is basketball to your family, you, your dad, your mom?
My dad and my mom both played here, so I feel like it's a mixture of both. It was instilled in me. My first steps was actually on this court right here, so it's just been since I was born. Really, I always had a ball in my hand in this court. On this court, my dad coached here. I was always at practices since I was 1, 2 years old. So I just love the game of basketball.
What's your dad mean to you as a coach and just as your dad?
My role model. He's everything. I wouldn't be here without him. So he just keeps me going, keeps me humble, keeps my head on straight. He knows that it's always more work to be done. So
there you go.
And I got 35, not 25 steals against
35.
him. Yeah,
there we go, man.
35.
Y'all are clowning me like I'm nothing over here.
He's Deontay Neal joining us here on our post-game show. Final score 50-36. Deontay, thanks for your time. Good luck throughout the rest of the year. We consider it a pleasure being able to watch you on the floor.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
That's Deontay Neal here
man.
on your post-game show. Final score 50-36. Let's break down the scoring real quickly before we head out of here. 15 points for Deontay Neal, 15 for J9, 10 for Christian Scales, 2 for Cameron Jones, 6 for Kentre Harrison, 2 for Brian Gwynn, and Jaquez Tynes with 1 for your Rams. They score 11 in the first, 11-11 after one, then 23-18 after two, a 20-point lead after three, and a 51-35 victory here at home. Big Will says choose UNC too.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, I'm telling you, General Manager Michael Lombardi, Bill Belichick, if you're listening in, I got to get a little bit of cut right here, man. I'm recruiting like crazy for you guys. What are you doing?
Glad to have you guys here for the Sweet 16. We look forward to the Elite Eight. It'll be the winner of Salisbury and Lincolnton, both teams in the top 5 RPI in the 2A West at the end of the season. That should be a great game, considered one of the best in the playoffs this week matchup-wise. So once we get that in, tune in on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Rockingham. We'll know who we'll face here on Friday. One last game here at home on Friday night. Final score here is 50-36. Reidsville, as they make it 57 straight, 38 straight here on their home floor, and move to 14-1 in the playoffs over the last 3 years. Glad to have you along, guys, as always, for the 100 strong listening in. Thank you for your support. We couldn't be here without you, and we couldn't be here without the support of our sponsors, Pennrose Carwash, Kooler Ice, and Ancora Compassionate Care. We love what we do. We love being here. We consider it a privilege, and what an honor to watch this Reidsville basketball team advance to the Elite Eight. Final score, 50-36. See you on Friday.
Thanks for listening to RoCo Radio's coverage of local high school basketball. To find out where we will be next, make sure you head on over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Radio Rockingham, where you can find this ball game as well as our schedule for what's coming up. You can also download our podcast of our games by heading to Spotify and searching for RoCo Radio, or on Apple Podcasts, and also find our game archives on YouTube by searching for RoCo Radio. RoCo Radio basketball coverage is brought to you by Pennrose Carwash, voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County. Pennrose Carwash at 1509 South Scales in Reidsville has been serving the Reidsville and surrounding area for over 50 years. Established in 1970 by well-known entrepreneur Leo Rentz, this popular venue welcomes everyone. Pennrose Carwash, open 24/7, and find us on Facebook. Pennrose Carwash, voted #1 Rockingham County Car Wash 3 years in a row. Tonight's game is brought to you by Kooler Ice. Looking for a fresh ice and water option that's ready when you are? Kooler Ice is countywide. Find fresh ice and water at Little Caesars Pizza in Mayodan at 6734 NC 135 across from Walmart. And visit our local Kooler Ice dispenser at Schul's Home, 1635 Freeway Drive in Reidsville. And for all your ice and water needs, you can also find us at Pennrose Carwash in Reidsville at 1509 South Scales Street, or Two Rivers Plaza in Eden at 307 West Meadow Road. Get Kooler Ice, great tasting, fresh ice, available 24/7 at all 4 locations. 16 pounds or 32 pounds, plus premium water by the gallon or 5 gallons. At Kooler Ice, fresh and ready when you are. RoCo Radio basketball coverage is brought to you by Sandy Cross General Merchandise, serving the Sandy Cross community, Rockingham County, and surrounding areas of our beautiful Piedmont Triad since 1988. Rockingham County's community store at 164 Boyd Road in the Sandy Cross community of Rockingham County, celebrating our 36th anniversary. Stop by Sandy Cross General Merchandise for local pure brand gasoline with the cheapest price in Rockingham County for 93 non-ethanol. Sandy Cross General Merchandise is also your Nice's Sausage headquarters with great value for Rockingham County. To find out more about the Log Cabin store, visit us on Facebook by searching Sandy Cross General Merchandise. High school basketball coverage on RoCo Radio is brought to you by Two Rivers Plaza, Rockingham County's premier location for exceptional small businesses is Two Rivers Plaza at 307 West Meadow Road in Eden. Visit the wonderful small businesses there today at Two Rivers Plaza, your premier source for small business services. RoCo Radio basketball coverage is brought to you by Circle Drive-In in Eden, serving the best hot dogs in Rockingham County for over 50 years. Located at 111 Boone Road, Circle Drive-In is your home for fast and friendly service and an all-American meal. Stop by our old-style drive-in for a delicious cheeseburger, crinkle cut fries, and top your meal off with a milkshake or banana split, or choose from one of our many menu items such as buffalo wings, chicken tenders, steak and cheese, the chuck wagon, and so much more at Circle Drive-In since the 1970s. For good food, stop by Circle Drive-In at 111 Boone Road near the roundabout. High school basketball on RoCo Radio is made possible thanks to Ancora Compassionate Care, formerly known as Hospice of Rockingham County. Their name changed late last year, but they're the same community-based, mission-focused hospice and palliative care provider the community has known since 1987. Providing specialized care for those coping with serious illness, Ancora's mission is to be a supportive presence for life's journey. When greater comfort and rapid response matter most, make sure it's Ancora Compassionate Care. They'll always be there because they've always been here. To learn more about how Ancora can support you, visit AncoraCC.org. Just as they are a supportive presence for life's journey, Ancora Compassionate Care is proud to support our local basketball teams on their journey towards successful seasons. Local basketball coverage is also made possible thanks to our friends at Rockingham Update, the community source for local programming, government meeting coverage, community events, promotion and broadcast, sports, local nonprofit news, and so much more. Providing digital community news on all platforms since 2007, RockinghamUpdate.com aims to serve Rockingham County with the dependable information and coverage it deserves. For local programming, visit RockinghamUpdate.tv, your #1 IPTV station in Rockingham County. Thanks for listening to local basketball coverage on RoCo Radio, your home for local sports and all the hits. Make sure you tune in 24/7, RoCoRadio.com for great music, news, local weather, and so much more at RoCoRadio.com.